Hey everyone, I wanted to do a video on the concept of needs and wants. It actually started off with a small phrase that I actually came up with for myself that I felt was very true for me. Anyway, the phrase is, first of all, I want to be free. Second, I want to be understood. And third, loved. Now, in a nutshell, these are the desires and needs I have. They're also wants. All right. And after 25 years, that's the best I could come up with, and well, I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. Anyway, so we humans are very bad at knowing what's good for us and what we need, not want, and what we want but not need. And yet, we demand that we do understand this, and that we do know what our needs and wants are, and that we even know what's best for others. I mean, seriously, are we so arrogant that we will spend time and energy trying to convince others that we know what's better for them when we can barely get it right for ourselves? Seriously, this is one of the things that astounds me about people constantly. I mean, I know it, but I'm not arrogant enough to know I know better for others. One point that I probably should make more often on my videos is that anything I'm saying or doing is my reality and my version of existence. I'm sharing because I have very good articulation skills. And there's a lot of people with Asperger's who don't. And I wish that wasn't the case. And I wish it didn't take me 20 odd years to learn those skills. For a long bit of effort, a long time of my life, I actually worked very hard at getting to know myself and understand the world around me. And I feel, even though I did it for myself, I feel a responsibility to share this with people that need to understand this stuff. I've got answers that will help others, and I don't know if it's right for them, but they will find out. If I kept this information to myself, I would feel very guilty about not sharing and not giving back to a community that has supported me. I think I mostly do this for the fact that my family's just loved and cared for me so well. And my mum really did put in the effort, the extra 10 miles, just to get me to be able to function on my own. And it's not that I wasn't going to get there in the end, it's just it would have taken me another 10 years. Without the effort she put in, I would still be quite dysfunctional when it comes to social interaction and connecting with people. I know people that are twice my age that still get it so wrong. Hell, I'm actually just learning now how bad my dad can be with social situations. But he gives this persona of knowing what he's doing, so people don't question it. It's quite funny how it works for him. Anyway, we assume so much and yet hold it in others' faces as proof. We did. When did we learn this? When did we learn this habit? Talking about being arrogant about what we know is best. When did we learn what we thought would be best for others? I mean, we've obviously proved that we don't know what's best for ourselves half the time. I guess being a kind of a pack animal, we need to rely on some direction. At least with direction, you can find out if it's the wrong direction or not. And on the way, probably find the right direction. Anyway, when did we learn this habit? And what made us think this was a good idea? And why do we have such trouble with letting go of this habit? This is the one that I find interesting and kind of confusing. Why do we have so much trouble letting go of the arrogance of knowing what's right for us or what's wrong? Is it just that we don't like our self being judged, or is it the fact that we don't like our morals and our structure to be put into question, I guess. I don't know why do we hold on to these inner parts of ourselves so hard that we can't let go. I know I have some habits, but I'm surprisingly flexible for someone with Asperger's syndrome. I think that might be because I've actually gotten in tune with myself a lot better. I have quite a few family friends that used to know me when I was younger, and when I see them and talk to them, they usually comment that I'm amazingly self-aware. And frankly, I couldn't be any other way. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be happy. It's not like me. So we quite often get our needs and wants mixed up. Like, I don't need that computer game or that bottle of vodka or that CD with that music on it. That's not a need at all. That's a desire. It's a want. And having it is not going to improve my life in any significant degree. In fact, it might take away from it, considering some of the consumers things that we take that we think we need half the time anymore. Also, like when you go out, it's surprising that a lot of people think they need alcohol to party. I find that strange. Like I get along with it because alcohol is such a good inhibitor. It really um, pushes your inhibitions down. So a lot of people find that they can be themselves a lot more when they're drunk. I, for one, I can have been working at being myself every moment and every day, which is not easy in a world where everyone has this idea of normalcy. Anyway, back on the needs and wants. What do we actually need? Do we need anything at all? Do we need air to breathe? If you think about it in the way that um, your goals, then you do have needs. To achieve a goal, you need to be breathing. Well, okay. Few examples that disprove that, but for argument's sake, let's say we want to stay breathing so we can achieve our goals. I, for one, have a lot to do before I die, and I don't think I'm going to achieve them dead. Though there's a few people that have achieved a lot after dying, like Van Gogh, for instance. I mean, he only sold one painting in his entire life, and yet when he after he died, he became quite interesting by a lot of people. All right, so yeah, needs to achieve our goals, our needs do exist. For one, I am going to Thailand to go and learn to do dive master, do a few diving courses, become a dive master. Basically, a dive master is someone who can take down a group of people and take them on a dive because they know all the things to do to look after those people. Basically, it's on the first step to becoming a dive instructor because that's where I want to be in the end. Um, anyway, and so this is a desire, but I've made it into a goal, and so that goal has needs. Now, if you think about it, it's still based on a desire at the start. A lot of people consider we need a purpose. I have to agree in some ways. A lot of people need purpose. I think everyone needs purpose because otherwise the meaning of their life tends to fall apart. I don't need purpose because what I believe is this is actually an interesting one. I came up with this one the other day. Uh, my answer to life is experience. I would feel that the big question being that um, why are we here? And I believe it is to experience. And I am fully intending to experience everything I can within this lifetime. Everything. I really want to do everything. I don't really care if I have a mortgage and a house with a white picket fence and kids, with a dog and a wife and a serious career. That is not a goal in my life, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I might be being arrogant because I don't know, but I really feel that the system doesn't actually work as well as people think it does. And I really don't like the idea of this normalcy. People have this thought in their heads that this normal exists, where it doesn't at all. Everything's unique and different, and everything has its different factors. Anyway, so I don't need any of that stuff. I just want to experience the world for what it has and do everything I can within this lifespan. It's surprising though. I thought I needed company and people, and that's actually why I became so adept at social skills and social dynamics and understanding people. But lately, I've been finding myself more and more in the situation where I'm just happy to exist. I just want to be me. I don't really crave um, connection with um, not connection. Uh, I'm not scared of the loneliness. I guess that's the best way to put it. I'm not afraid of being alone. I think I'd be quite happy doing what I was doing, whatever it being, as long as I didn't have to live my existence out being alone. I thought it was a need, but now that I've got it more and more, I've realized that I enjoy it. It's a want, it's a desire, it's something I've desired, not needed. And that's made me very content about it. It's not to say I'm turning into a hermit. I do enjoy being around people. I do a lot. It's interesting to meet new people every day. Hell, if I become a dive instructor, it's what I'll be doing, and that could be some fun. Oh yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys. I don't know if I have, but a couple of weeks ago, I spent 3 days working at a holiday program with kids, teaching them how to use a camera. A lot of fun. It was amazing being around those kids. They were so much fun, and I really enjoyed myself. It's great. Kids are such good reminders of what really matters in life, and and what really doesn't. Uh, the silly little arguments they were having, I found just amusing because I'm like, I'm so glad I don't care about those kind of things anymore. As well as they can really point out what is important. Kids, the great teachers. I think that's why a community is what society is not anymore. Society's become very regimented and you're beaten into this idea of normalcy. But there's a lack of community there, and community comes in so many forms. Now, it's like the only community you get is your family, like your parents, your brother and your sister, but and your grandparents and your cousins and your uncle and auntie. But it's really only the direct family, so mum, dad, brother and sister, maybe grandma and grandpa. They usually play a large part in a lot of families. But as society demands more and more from parents every year or so, like it's getting to a point where you need to both be in full-time jobs with no time for the kids. It's actually destroying more and more of the community. And this fascination for money, like if you want this normal life, which is what they tell you you do want, um, yeah, want and desires needs, you need money for it. Truth is, a lot of good things you don't need money for at all. You're quite capable of making on your own. Ah, I had something to say there about society, but I've forgotten what it is. Oh, that's right. Society is our society, our monetary system society at the moment, is a self-serving setup. The government tells you and asks you to reform to its rules and regulations so that it can survive, not so you can survive. Government is a self-serving setup. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It functions in its way. I'd say it falls into corruption quite a lot, which is depressing. And the political game is just seems like such a waste of time. There is something that is completely based on wants when they think it's need. What frustrates me is that if you get someone like the Minister for Social Reform, he will have a basic understanding of social dynamics, but he won't be a social engineer. He's a politician. Why do we have politicians leading the country when they have no qualifications to actually fix problems? I think this is strange. And I have to admit, Australia's politics is getting more and more bickery, bitchy, political. Yeah, but it's just unreliable. And I find it surprising that a lot of people get all arced up about Labor and all the other forms of our government. Frankly, I think they're all unreliable, and the system that is in place at the moment that is functioning, the side of our society and our government that actually works, is old and reliable. It was built on ideas and not political arguments or gain. It was about a system that works. It was that simple. And that's what's still in place. And you know what? The government hasn't changed for a long time in any kind of way. It's just been sitting on its hands, constantly bickering back and forth and saying a lot of things but not doing much. The amount of time they spend complaining and arguing could be better spent on actually solving situations. And I don't like the political movement we've taken towards aligning ourselves with the American military. Um, I would be happier if we basically just stood back. America has this nasty habit of starting fights, and I don't agree with aggression first. I agree with defense first, then aggression. Aggression is only useful in defensive measures and not preemptive. Preemptive is such bullshit. It's like, ah, doesn't matter. Anyway, needs, wants, and desires. Hope you guys have enjoyed the vid. And I love any comments. I'm sorry if I don't get back to a lot of your comments, guys. I happen to be working a lot lately, and I'm trying to get enough money to pay for my course and that, so I'm pretty flat out. I had today off because I'm reorganizing some more work for the next month. Yeah, I took a day off so I could book myself out to work for another 4 weeks straight. I'll actually be working every weekend too, so it's gonna be killing me. And so I don't really get a lot of time to get on here and do replies and comments, but I do prioritize doing videos for you guys because um, well, I think you guys enjoy it. I hope you do. I've gotten up to 12,000 views now, and I'm pretty happy about that. So thanks, guys, and keep watching.